Welcome to Celebrating Act Two. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.
Hey John, how you doing?
Good. Welcome, everybody, to Celebrating Act Two, the Founders Vlog. And Art, last week you and I were talking about the fact that you were looking at
Mm.
selling your car, getting a new car. What's the mileage on that Pilot? Is it a Honda Pilot?
Yeah, I love the
What's the
car.
mileage?
206,490 some odd, something like that.
That's up there, and it's been very good to us. We've gone on I don't know how many thousands of locations in that car, packing all the
Oh, I
camera equipment
love the
makes in
car.
there.
But you know
Yeah.
something? You know something? I don't. I like to buy cars after they've been on the road for a couple of years, so that I don't have to eat the depreciation of a new car.
Right.
In
Right. We
fact,
talked about that.
I got an extended warranty with it, and everything is fine. And I've been sort of thinking about doing this for a year. I think we discussed. And so last week I decided, you know what? The best way for me to go ahead and make this decision is to sell the Pilot, and then I'll.
So, so, so you leave yourself without a car that
Well,
forces you to.
Well, you know, we've been sort of sequestered at home pretty much, so Linda rarely goes out, and she's got a car that's only got 50,000 miles on it. I mean, it's a baby,
Wow.
and it's in great shape, and that's over 10 years old, but
Yeah.
she hardly ever drives it. So I forced myself to drive that for a week, which is a smaller car, and just to say, okay, let's see how I can do this. And
So you now know for sure that you want to get another SUV.
correct. I do
Yeah.
know that. So what
After
I
driving the smaller car.
right.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did was I decided I'm going to sell my car because you get a lousy trade in anyway. And
Right.
so I went to and I sort of had the range. So I went to Kelly Blue Book and Edmunds .com. Both
Which is
have
pretty much the standard
right.
everybody uses to sell a used car, whether it's a dealer or a used car company
Or
or
certainly
online, right?
certainly to know the
Person.
value of it. So what I
Yeah.
did was I put it in and it included all the dings and the mileage and everything else. And literally, it took me 15 minutes to fill out the forms, and
Sure.
then it took me another 3 seconds to print out an offer, and it was right in the range of the best I could hope for on a trade-in. Uh,
Yeah.
and no hassle of trying to sell it privately and on Craigslist or Cars.com, so on and so forth. So I had this slip of paper in my hand. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it says, "This is a certified offer from CarMax." So I said, "Okay." I emptied out the car. I drove over to CarMax, and because it was later in the morning, they were crowded. But an hour and 10 minutes later, I had a check in my hand, which I took a picture on my cell phone and deposited in my account. And the whole thing from beginning to end was maybe 2.5 hours. From the time I went and I got
Wow.
the proposal, the CarMax, by the way, fabulous. It was really a great experience.
Really?
They didn't
Wow.
try to knock me around and say, no, you got a little ding here, ding there. They said, no, you've described it properly. We'll honor the offer exactly as it was written. And
Wow. I didn't know.
yeah, and the people couldn't be more polite and professional. And they had,
Now it's
okay,
interesting. You sold
yeah,
your old car to CarMax.
right.
Did you consider buying a new car from them? Another car from them?
I did. And in fact, I spoke to somebody while I was waiting for them to handle the paperwork. And they're a little bit pricier than where I wound up getting my car, but they were just no pressure. They explained their extended warranties, which is something that's very important to me. Talked about what they had on the lot, but as it turns out, I didn't buy it from them because when I called them back the following day to possibly arrange to see it, because the car I'm going to probably buy, I won't get access to till next Friday. I explained what I had and what they had, and they said, you know what, you've done the right research. You've got a great deal. Uh, if I were buying the same vehicle, which happens to be a Santa Fe SUV, SU, SUV, yeah, um, then I'd buy it from them too. So in any event,
Interesting. So you have a Honda Pilot. You sold a Honda
Right.
Pilot, and you already researched. You know what you want to buy. You want to
Right.
buy
Santa
what do you
Fe.
call it? A
Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yeah,
Uh,
tell me why. I know you wanted an SUV, and I'm glad you do
mhm.
because we're still going to be putting equipment in that and going on
It's
location.
all because of
But
you, John.
thank you very
Yeah.
much. Keep that front seat warm.
Yeah.
Um, so, why did you pick Hyundai? I mean, you did a lot of research. I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
Well, I've been the same reason when I bought the Honda Pilot about 10 years ago. I did the research, and it was the most reliable price performance car that had a lifespan in front of it. And Honda Pilots are still rated well, but the top rated in the SUV world, in the mid to standard size, is the Hyundai Santa Fe for a number of reasons. But they've actually been that way for about the last 3 or 4 years. And one of the reasons why it had a pretty good chance of being one of the best is that they give it a 100,000 mile warranty out of the factory. Now that's,
Ah,
yeah. So,
that's pretty darn good.
right. So that's
Yeah,
the second owner doesn't get the 100,000 miles; they get half that. But
right.
you can get extended warranties either through. I'm actually buying it through Avis, and I'm getting a 2020 with 17,000 miles on it. It'll be
Wow.
full warranty on it from Avis, and the manufacturer warranty drops down to 60,000 for a second owner. But I'm either going to buy an extended warranty through Avis, or I happened to speak to Hyundai, and they said, yeah, no, we'll if this is a young car, uh, just send us a VIN number, and we'll give you a quote on giving you either 100,000 miles or other variations. The major thing
Wow.
I want, besides the powertrain, are all the electronics,
Sure.
the radio, so not the radio so much as the Bluetooth and the backup screens and all that stuff.
Oh, well, the engines are all electronic now.
Right.
So
So in
you got to
any,
have,
so I don't know who I'm going to get that from, but I'm going to wind up getting it from Avis, and they're going to haul it in from wherever they haul it to, someplace 4 miles from my house at an Avis lot, and I'm going to take it for a test drive, and the paper, all I have to do is say I want it, and they give me a free rental until they finish the paperwork. Uh,
wow,
so
that's terrific.
yeah.
So let me get this straight. You contacted a number of used car outlets,
Yep.
and you wanted a car that was what, no more than 5 years old, 2 years old? What was your
My
standard?
my it was 5 years old, and I was assuming I was going to get something between 3 and 5 years old. Uh,
Yeah, so you could save some money on it.
right. But
And that depreciation, once you buy a new car, that depreciation always kills everybody.
the
You know,
Avis
you
price,
walk out the door and you've lost $5,000.
but the Avis 2020 was less expensive
And
than,
it's 1 year old.
barely. It's a 2020.
Jeez.
I mean, how long for 17,000 miles? How long has it been on the road? I mean, really.
Right,
Uh,
right. That's amazing.
so it was much less expensive than going to any dealer. I also looked at Enterprise. I wanted to look at Hertz, but they're out of business, and you have to go to like the Midwest to
Right.
find out
And it was cheaper than CarMax.
by about $1,500 to $2,000.
Amazing.
And it was
Amazing.
a year younger. It was a 2020, not a 2019.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, my mechanic had told me that if you're going to just go buy something from a used car lot, he says
Yeah.
not only does a lot of people that he serves bought something from CarMax, but they let him come over and do a complete inspection of it on their
Oh,
premises, or you can drive it out to him. And he says he's
yeah.
never had a problem with any car that's ever come off a CarMax lot.
Interesting.
This happens to be in Irvine. He says they're
Maybe,
pretty similar.
or maybe we could get CarMax to pay us for this commercial.
I'm hoping. Well, actually, I don't think so.
Oh,
Maybe Avis.
if CarMax pays us and Avis pays us, we'd be okay then.
Yeah, that'd be good. So anyway,
Well,
that's my
that's a
story.
great story. Yeah, great story. And I guess the lesson for all of us who might be in the market for a car is do your homework, because you did a lot of research on it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you found the best car that you wanted. You knew you wanted an SUV, found the best car, found the best prices, found the best used opportunities? Sold the car separately than you did to buy it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
well,
one of
the
those
reason I sold the
trade-in?
car was to force my hand. Okay, because I've
Yeah.
been thinking about doing this for a year. And I just finally said, okay, there's only one way to learn how to swim is jump in the pool.
Well, good for you. Congratulations, and I expect to get a ride in the new car very soon.
You bet.
I'll wear my mask.
Yeah, wear your
I'll wear my
mask.
mask. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
But anyway, yeah, well, you come up here, I know, for a doctor's appointment once every month or two. So maybe the next time around, I'll take you for a ride.
Good, good. Well, congratulations, and I hope for everybody else that this has been instructive.
Yeah, and by the
That's
way,
okay.
seriously, if you want any more in-depth discussion on this, send a note to either art@celebratingact2.com or info@celebratingact2.com, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you.
Good. And meanwhile, whether you send a note or not, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Right, and do you want to do your little dinosaur, see the USA in your Santa Fe? Why don't you sing us out?
I'm not wearing a dress. It wasn't a dinosaur I used to sweep in.
Yes.
Oh, that was Loretta Young. Loretta Young could come down the staircase with a beautiful gown.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to sing
Oh,
See the USA.
all right, then. So thanks for visiting us.
Say goodbye, Art, and enjoy your new car.
Goodbye, Art.
For more on Celebrating Act Two, visit our webpage, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tell your friends. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.